Suit up, boys! It's review time! Eat a dick! But yeah, we're reviewing Dead Space 2 today. So strap the fuck in, ladies and gentlemen, because this is gonna be a wild one. Nick, you were supposed to...
Oh, that was my cue?
Fucking idiot! You play as Isaac Clarke, the main character from the first game, who finds himself on a densely populated space station called the Sprawl during a necromorph outbreak, and it's your job to get the fuck out of Dodge and figure out what's going on. Spoiler alert! It was Scientology all along. But yeah, jokes aside, there's nothing particularly unique about the plot. Honestly, it's just an excuse for you to blow the ever-living fuck out of everything that moves. But I will say this, the story is definitely a lot more focused on action than horror this time around. The game does have its fair share of disturbing moments, but halfway through they start to wear off, making its way for... And there's nothing really wrong about it, but for a game that was marketed as a horror title, you'd expect it to have more spooks. Sure, you have your whiny bitch of a dead girlfriend telling you what to do, but she was never scary. Like, ever. Plus, it doesn't help that the plot sometimes goes from tongue-in-cheek to just cartoon goofy.
You?
Engineer.
Nerd. Figures.
Kill me! So yeah, if you're expecting a heart-wrenching story with Shakespearean dialogue, you're not gonna get it. And it seems like I'm shitting on this game, cause I kinda am. But do not fret. I'll get to the good shit in no time.
Man, I got these cheeseburgers, man.
No. Visually, the game still holds up.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it did. Shut up, idiot! But yeah, given the fact that this game came out back in 2011, at the time, the game's dynamic lighting was pretty innovative, and still looks good even to this day. It's just that the shadows show some serious age. In regards to textures, some are still decent, whereas others look like they were put up by an artist who was working on crunch time with 2 liters of Red Bull in the back, begging not to shit himself so he could get this finished before the deadline. Which most likely was the case. Design-wise, the developers decided to go for a very grim, futuristic type look, which is there to create a very cold, deprived, industrial atmosphere. And they definitely delivered. It's pretty spooky! Well, that and alien space mutant zombies are running around trying to rip your face off. This aspect of the game is one of Dead Space 2's strong suits. It is exceptionally well done. Everything from the sounds of the environment is emitting to the roars of your guns blazing are all top notch. All of it is there to enhance your experience and keep you on your toes. It just makes me hard, bro. Makes me want to go outside and kill everything and everyone!
Hey now, Junior, you forgot to take your medicine, didn't you?
No, fuck you! I'm a free man, and I will not be shackled by your drugs!
Restrain him.
Let go of me, you fucking degenerate! But yeah, the attention to detail, like having the sound compressed while you're in space, is just great. As for the music, even though it's not something that you would listen to on your phone, it does have its purpose, which is to keep you on edge and never let you take a break. Kind of like what I'm doing now.
He needs another dose.
No! Ah, finally, the meat and potatoes. Can you get your dick out of my plate?
Sorry.
The gameplay is very simple. It's a corridor shooter with some very minor opportunities to branch off from your main path. The game has always been marketed as a horror survival game, but in reality it's more of an action-based shooter with some horror elements. But I'm not gonna nag on the marketing team for not representing their game properly. I'm just gonna tell him to go jump off a bridge. I'm sorry, but we have to put him down. But yeah, I'm not gonna do that for various undisclosed reasons, because honestly the finished product is absolutely fantastic. You do a lot of shooting in the game, and if the guns lick donkey balls, you're better off getting attacked by a stampeding gay orgy. But because gay marriage is legal now, the guns are super satisfying to use. Every time you get to cut off a limb and see it fly across the room is a treat to behold. All of the weapons in the game are empowering because they give you an immediate sense of impact. Or in other words, it's just fun to shoot shit! And all of them have their role in the game, which lets you define your play style. Well, except for the line gun.
It stinks.
So, you want a run and gun? Go for the pulse rifle, seeker rifle combo and slaughter everything in sight. You want to be a bit more tactical with your play? Grab the detonator and stick a bunch of proximity mines on the walls. That will teach them pesky necromorphs an important lesson about cucking me during lonely nights.
What?
There's also a mechanic called stasis, which allows you to slow down enemies. Very useful tool to have when you're surrounded by monsters that are ready to tear open your asshole and see what's inside. Combat-wise, the only thing that's left to address is the telekinesis mechanic. It's basically used for traversing and puzzle solving, but it can also be used in combat scenarios as well. You can toss things like javelins, metal crates, severed necromorph claws. Yes, you can do that at enemies, which gives you opportunities to conserve ammo. As for everything else that you do in the game, it's pretty standard exploring puzzle solving affair. There are upgrades that you can pick up along the way, both for your weapons and armor. Like I've mentioned, there are puzzles, but they're not really puzzles. They're more akin to... One thing that deserves a mention is the Zero G. In the first Dead Space, the Zero G in terms of movement was very limited. Sure, you could stick to walls, but it was very restricted. Now you have gravity thrusters. So now, instead of just hopping onto a wall and walk on it that way, you can fly around and fully explore your surroundings.
Yes!
To conclude the gameplay side of things, the whole package is wrapped with smooth character movement and solid controls. In my opinion, this is the true successor to Resident Evil 4 when controls come into play. However, nothing is perfect, so here are the flaws. Numero uno! The game is a bit too dark. Look, I get it. It's called Dead Space. You don't see fucking rainbows and unicorns running around wanting to furiously blow you and suck the very essence out of you. But during your first couple of playthroughs, it is a bit difficult to see enemies in the dark. It's not really an issue later on because the more you play, the more you become accustomed to the enemy placements, but it is worth noting. Numero dos. No boss battles. In Dead Space 1, we had 3 boss battles. Now granted, they were not very good, but they were still there. In Dead Space 2, we get 1 boss battle, and it's at the very end, and it's Garbo. So instead of giving us these on-rails QuickTime event sequences, give us legitimate boss fights. And, what's free in Spanish?
Eat shit!
Who cares? This is the shit kicker. Unskippable cutscenes.
What the fuck?
Visceral, what the fuck, man? I thought we were bros! Look, I understand, these bits are very brief, but come on, dude! I played through this game like 1 billion times and these cinematics do nothing but break the pacing of the game! At this point, these fucking cutscenes have been ingrained into my brain till the day I die. End me! But yeah, that's pretty much it, really.
Wait, you forgot one thing.
What? Who gives a shit? It's a 6-year-old game and it's gonna take you like 2 months of no human interaction until you get a match going. So, should you buy this game? I'd say yes, given the fact that it has a very humble price now. Even hobos like me can afford it. Although, this needs to be addressed because this will discourage a lot of people. If you decide to get the Steam version of this game, know this. The game comes with DRM. Fuck this. Sometimes you can run into an issue where the servers go out or something along those lines, cause hey now, this is an online game. You're not supposed to be here. Get fucked. Personally, I've run into this issue once. On the flip side, somehow the problem has solved itself apparently. So I don't fucking know. The game has a mind of its own, I guess. So keep that in mind. The same way you keep in mind your grandmother's vagina during sex so you don't jizz too early. Nick, turn off the video.
Oh, I was supposed to?
Oh my fucking...